Welcome back to another episode of Blind Boys Politics, and we are back once again, as promised, for a recap of the the separate town halls.
Yes, we are here. We are live. First thing Saturday morning.
I think alive is pushing it.
First separate town halls. It was interesting. That's one way to put it.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
It was a struggle from a having to actually pay attention standpoint. Switching channels back and forth that time was a little difficult. But moving on from that, I'm just happy that I'm here to tell you all about it.
We got all the info.
So, if you don't know what's going on, which I don't know where you've been if you don't know what's going on, but let me tell you what the hell's been going on. Trump got the coronavirus. The commissions for presidential debates said it would be virtual. The president said, I'm not participating in that. Biden said, neither am I. He set up a town hall. Trump did the same thing. Well, how convenient. They are set up for the same exact time, the same day. How convenient is that? Yeah, different channels. How freaking convenient.
Yeah, so Trump, he had his on NBC, hosted by Savannah Guthrie, and Biden's was on ABC, hosted by George Stephanopoulos.
Trump was in Miami. Biden was in Philadelphia.
And one thing to note about the locations of the town halls was that Florida and Pennsylvania are considered to be two of the big battleground states that candidates have to really try and win over because they tend to swing either way. They're known as swing states, for those that don't know.
One thing, just, to put it out there, social distancing and masks were mandatory at both. Vice President Joe Biden had 21 people in the audience. President Trump had 61. So there's a little difference there. Now, the big question was, when this all kind of broke Wednesday, the official what was going on, the big question is, how are you going to watch both, or who are you going to watch?
Right, because with them being at the same time, obviously that's going to create some conflict, especially for those that kind of sit in the middle and are still unsure on who to vote for.
Now, some people said, I'm going to watch Biden. I'm set watching on Biden. Some said, I'm watching on Trump. I'm watching Trump. Some said, I already voted, so I don't care what they say. Some say, I've already made up my mind, so I'm not going to watch either one. I'm going to watch Criminal Minds. So that was kind of interesting to see everyone's little take on that.
Yeah, because, the opinions on who to watch and why to watch, just seemed to differ so much. There was such a split all across the board.
And then there was people like me that watched both.
Yep.
Do fact check. Now let me tell you, there's some things to fact check, and we're not going to talk about anything that needs fact checking here because I'm still in the process. So.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. I mean, even the main news channels haven't really finished fact checking everything just yet. So it's a work in progress.
I would say mainly because it was in two different channels.
Yeah.
Two different things. Fully combined was 3.5 hours.
Oh, God.
But it seems like nowadays after every debate, the question is, who won last night? Well, you can't say who won last night because they were by themselves.
Yeah, it's not like they were competing directly question by question.
So let me explain it to you like this. Trump won against Trump. Joe Biden won against Joe Biden.
They were competing against themselves. Good job, guys.
I mean, it was no competition. It was just like,
Yeah, it's
but
just them get answering questions from their hosts and their audience members.
but we will say this in terms of viewer numbers. Joe Biden did win. The numbers were provided by Nelson. They're the industry leader on TV, cable, like that sort of thing. Um, Viewing numbers, but just one thing to note: there is no one that keeps track of what the streaming service numbers were.
Right. So to get into some of the specifics as far as the numbers go, Joe Biden had approximately 14.1 million viewers, whereas Trump had about 13.5 million. So a pretty big split overall.
And President Trump, he was on 3 different TV networks. For NBC, he had 10.9 million, CNBC 720,000, and MSNBC 1.8 million. Now, just to keep in mind, Vice President Biden's was 90 minutes long, President Trump's was 60 minutes long. These numbers are on average, and then on average of the hour of that, those two, were on the same time slot. Vice President Joe Biden had 14.3 million, so that had more than President Trump's.
Right. Now, the numbers here, when you look at it, they were much lower than the first debate's numbers, which took place back on September 29th. And that number was about 73.1 million viewers. So, pretty big difference.
You're right. That's a pretty big difference. And, one way to look at it is no one won. The people that lost was the American people, because that's a huge difference. 14 and 13 don't add up to 73.
Well, and it's very possible too that one reason for these viewership number differences was because a lot of those people likely have voted at this point. Also, obviously, it just does get conflicting because they were on at the same time.
There's several different things that, it does come into effect that many people have already voted, so why would they watch it? But also 73 million and 10 and 13, that's a huge difference. I think if it was a normal town hall, if, we're on normal territory, so you can't say, wow, in normalness, it probably would have been a lot different numbers, but there's nothing that could have been done to control that, really.
Yeah, no, with how everything's going right now, with how things are unfolding, there is no normal at this point. We're just kind of rolling with the punches and just trying to get through this the best that we can. Speaking of rolling with the punches and moving forward, the next debate and the last debate will be on October 22nd, so next Thursday. And we will, of course, have a recap of that next Saturday.
So that is it for this Saturday morning. That we just compared them. We don't really have a lot of information because, like we said earlier, I haven't finished fact checking everything. A lot of major news outlets haven't finished fact checking things, so I can't even piggyback off of them to get the information, compare and contrast what all these stations are saying, because not many people have totally wrapped everything up like full circle. So if anything huge comes, we'll certainly talk about it Friday morning, but I know you usually expect a show Monday morning. Monday morning is going to be a little bit of a different show. We're going to be talking about the Electoral College and how that works and what the current Electoral College is predicting. And then Wednesday morning, failed elections, Friday morning news, Saturday morning, we'll be back here doing this again.
Yep, so make sure to just continue following along with us. We'll have uploads on all the normal dates, as you just heard from Chris. But other than that, if you want to follow us on social media, that information, those links will be in the show notes. And other than that, that's about all we've got today, guys. So we hope you have a good weekend, and we'll be back with you guys Monday morning. See you guys.
See ya.